Hi, everyone. I am sorry, I'm just a bit late. Just had to figure out how to go live on YouTube. It's been a while since I've been here, but just like to thank anyone and everyone who has followed me from Insight Timer. Come to this free platform where you can join me for free. So it's always good to be here. And we're continuing our journey on the crystal healing. I definitely feel that we need some tools this year. I definitely feel we need some tools that we can use to support ourselves and we can use to make ourselves feel better, but just a little bit more powerful, that we can feel powerful, that we are in control and we do have power and we do have self-preservation and resilience and all of those wonderful things that help us get through these difficult times. So it's really wonderful to be here on YouTube. And of course, the fantastic thing is that unlike Inside Timer, this is being recorded, so you can watch it over and over again and participate in the meditation as many times as you need. So it's really, really cool. So we are on the topic of Bloodstone. And Bloodstone is about releasing the blocks within our physical body. It's a master crystal. So, what that means is that on a physical, mental, and emotional level, it can do lots of healing work on our behalf when we simply know how to utilize and use the crystal. So it's a really interesting stone. It's not maybe one of the most glamorous stones or the prettiest of stones, but it is a really powerful healer, which I think is underrated. I think Bloodstone is one of those physical healing stones that is definitely underrated. So I'm going to show you, I've got a couple of examples. It's green with red veins through it. I don't know if you can see in the light, probably not. Maybe hold it back a little bit. But these are just polished pebbles of greasewood. There's a little bit of red just where this finger is. Let me hold up this one. This one's got a deep vein of red just running through the ridge there. It's difficult to see. Oh, there we go. That's that red showing through there. Beautiful stone. When they're polished, they're really lovely to hold. They're almost like a worry stone, which is always really, really nice. So, as the name suggests, Bloodstone is a blood cleanser and a powerful healer. And it works by supporting every single organ within the body, helping banishing or remove any negative spiritual energies or attachments that have become ingrained in your auric field. And I have to say, with Bloodstone, the aura and how it works within the aura is really key to your continued feeling of well-being and your continued feeling of being supported, etc. It's a really, really powerful stone. So, don't underestimate the correlation between our auric field and how we are feeling, but also the auric field being that sponge for collecting other people's thoughts and feelings. And then it's stored in your auric field. It follows you around like a little ghost, like a little shadow. So this actually helping to cleanse and clear and remove any attachments from your auric field is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. It's also heightens intuition and increases creativity. The bloodstone will cleanse the immune system, stimulate the auric field, and the flow of our lymphatic system. So the lymph system is a detox system within our body. Our lymph nodes throughout the body are constantly working to detox any impurities, anything that shouldn't be in our body. It's working to move that through the body, and it helps with the metabolic rate as well. So it's a wonderful, wonderful stone to have as part of your collection or as part of your healing toolkit. It will help realign the body and help remove exhaustion. I feel people are really exhausted. It's only June, And I think with everything that's going on globally, we're all being impacted. We're constantly being fed this process of unfiltered or unscripted um, events that are constantly occurring. And it's really exhausting. It's exhausting to keep up. It's exhausting just trying to avoid it. It's exhausting trying to figure out where we fit in amongst this new era of communication globally. So, this particular stone is really grounding. It helps us stay focused on what is important to us as an individual because we can get distracted by what's going on around us. And so we need to be really aware that we need to ground ourselves and on some level detach ourselves because we can only do what we can do. We can't do what's happening external to us. So we need to monitor the impact that is occurring within us in response to what is happening to uncontrollable situations. And so this stone will help with that sense of exhaustion. And it'll do that through detoxifying the major organs, cleansing and aligning the lower chakras. And it just helps take the pressure off the body. On a physical level, if you do have issues with pain in your joints, varicose veins, poor circulation, all of those things, placing a bloodstone in your bath and popping in with the bath with the stone in there is really helpful. It will just stimulate the blood flow through your body. And that in itself will make you feel like you are, yeah, that you're ready or you're prepared for what's coming ahead or what is happening. On an emotional level, I've said that it's deeply grounding, but it's deeply grounding of the heart. And by deeply grounding the heart, the red and the white is a little bit like ruby and zoisite. It works on both polarities of the heart, both the physical heart and the higher heart. And so bloodstone being red and green has a similar effect on the body, which is really lovely. But what this particular stone does, which is different from ruby and zoisite, which is more karmic and soul and past life journeys, this one on a physical level reduces irritability, aggressiveness, aggressive behavior, behaving impatiently. It gives us the courage and teaches us how to avoid those, I've put in my notes, dangerous situations where we would flare up, where we would lose control, we would give our power over to someone else by showing them our irritability and our lack of patience. So it helps reduce all of that in the heart space. And that in turn reduces your stress, which is ultimately really good for blood pressure. So that's how that all correlates together as a crystal and what is happening in our body. And I think that whole aspect of alerting us or giving us the courage to withdraw or avoid dangerous situations. A dangerous situation isn't a life threatening situation, but we do get situations where someone will throw a verbal grenade and we then react to that, or we get poked by someone who is poking you or saying things to evoke a reaction. So we've all been through those situations, be it family, friends, lover, partner, kids, all of that stuff. And I think it's really important. I love that when I phrase that about strategic removal or withdrawal, because in realigning your emotional body, reducing your stress, reducing frustration and anger, and then bringing yourself into a place of balance, that strategic withdrawal, that moving away from a situation that isn't healthy, that isn't good for anyone, I think that in itself is a place where you can see your own personal growth. And I think this stone helping you with strategies that get you out of trouble or stop you from delving into trouble with, where you do react to someone, where you inflame a situation even more, that is not so growth. However, when you use this stone and it calms the mind down to such an extent where you can really react in a really responsible way. And I think we all get drawn in sometimes to other people's dramas, and they become your dramas or our dramas. And we think, well, why am I here? This isn't my energy, or this doesn't belong to me, or why am I so upset? That's got nothing to do with me. That's where this stone really helps you pull back. And you develop sort of phrases like, I take on board your point, but I need to have a think about that before I respond. So that lovely delaying tactic of I need to just take a step back. If you don't mind, I'll get back to you sooner. If you don't mind, I'll get back to you later. I think that then one lets that person who's pulling you into a difficult situation know that you are there, but it lets them know that you've heard them. And that sometimes that's all they need. That person just needs to know that they're being heard. So a really wonderful stone with the heart, the heart. The other thing that it's really good with is the thoughts. So we're coming on to that topic of our thoughts, our auric field. And if you're really prone to paralysis by analysis, so you overthink things, you can't make decisions, you find it difficult to make decisions, then Bloodstone is the stone. Wear it on your body, either as a piece of jewelry or just in your pocket. And it again will help calm that mind, give you that strategic thinking so that you can weigh the pros and the cons of the decision that you've got to make. And that then allows you to move with confidence into a new place where you're meant to be. So it's really wonderful for that. So on a emotional level, and this is where Bloodstone is absolutely the king of physical healing. It is just the king of physical healing. Our body is a barometer of the emotional and mental state. So our physical symptoms, what our body is showing us, what our body is relaying to us, it's really important to think of how that is a correlation between the two. So we've got our body, which is our physical being. Then we have our mental, emotional body, which goes up and down and in and out with whatever is happening, how we're responding to situations that are going on around us. Often our physical symptoms reflect our emotional, mental situation at any given time. Our thoughts are powerful, or so powerful that the energy of each thought will reside in our auric field until our emotional or mental response has been resolved. So when we have a situation where we just go off one, so quite recently I got a parking ticket. I'd only been there for 40 minutes, but I was told by the parking attendant, because actually stepped in front of his car and stopped his car in the middle of the parking lot. I was so indignant to say, hey, I haven't been here for 90 minutes. So how can I have this parking ticket? How can you prove that I've been here? And he fobbed me off with some other cameras here and cameras there, and I've got this camera on my car, etc. So I actually have to prove that I wasn't in the car park, which I'm hopefully doing. But all of those thoughts of frustrations, that sense of knowing that this guy was lying and he'd just written a ticket because it's the end of the month. And I'm being really perverse here. I just feel it's the end of the month and he needs to write tickets, knowing full well that I wasn't in the car park, and he showed me how to challenge the ticket. So that in itself was an alarm bell for me. But I'm really aware that all of that frustration and anger and resentment and grrr, snackle frackle, it was residing in my auric field. But I don't want that to actually become a physical issue for me. So I've had to do lots of cleansing and just clearing that negativity so that it doesn't impact me on a physical level. And that's how simple it can be. Things that flare up that you get a sense of injusticeness or frustration, anger, whatever, resentment, all of those things, they all will reside in our auric field until you have resolved that. So I've actually let that situation go. I've put in my report of where my car was. I can get physical evidence of where my car was at that given time. And I'm just waiting for that response. But I don't feel, when I think about it now, I'm not quite as irate as I was having jumped in front of a moving car to say, hey, I haven't been here this long. That is how irate I was. So, when we think about the energy behind that, that's really quite powerful. So we need to dissolve that energy. If we live with negative energies in our auric field, ultimately, those thoughts, those negative thoughts will come and they will reside in our physical body. We will draw them into our body, and then we get symptoms of our physical imbalance. And that's where you can correlate, oh, well, what have I been thinking about? How can I adjust my thoughts so that I physically don't take on or manifest these thoughts in a physical level? When you do start to correlate your physical symptoms with what's going on around you, we can actually respond really quickly to resolving those mental, emotional thoughts. And that then sort of heals the body in a really wonderfully quick way. And so when we accept our emotional responses and we go, oh, yeah, I have been overly thinking, or I have been stressing, or I have had those thoughts about that person, we then start to take control back of our life. So, as an example, I've put here a sore wrist could mean, or quite often means, sore hands and wrists quite often means that you don't have a handle on things in your life. When we've got creaky knees, sore knees, it's we're overly responsible for other people. When we damage our ankle, that means we're either holding on to the past if it's the left foot, or if it's the right foot, we're terrified of moving into our future. So when we think about pains in our back, we can literally feel like we're being stabbed in the back by someone, or pains in our gut, or being kicked in the guts by something. So all of these old phrases that we utilize to describe what is happening mentally, emotionally, having those conversations, like, oh, that was a real kick in the guts when I was made redundant. And then suddenly we have all these gut issues. We need to actually undo and unpack all of that, because our gut doesn't need to physically show us how impacted we have by being made redundant. Or if we feel betrayed by someone, or feel I was really stabbed in the back by that colleague or that friend or that partner, then our body, our spine, our shoulder blades, our spine, our rib cage is responding by showing you an ache or a pain. So we need to unpack what we're feeling. And the way to unpack all that, it's called a rapid path to healing. And this is what I give in my Reiki 2 class. So we need to then to unpack and to undo all of that when I haven't got a handle on life, or I've been stabbed in the back or been kicked in the guts, is we need to actually go back to what is the top belief, what is the actual emotion. And so let's say if it's fear of moving on, then it's fear. So what is fear? And is it real or is it imagined? And if it's imagined, well, can I let go of that fear? If it's real, well, what is it that I need to do to overcome that real fear? If it's a sense of betrayal, if you feel let down, betrayed, disappointed, then we start with those emotions and then we work our way through. So, how can I negate these feelings? Who were they? What has that taught me about my friendships? So, in future, I'll then look to these signs or symptoms with people around me. So, I no longer will be betrayed. I can get ahead of the game rather than being behind the game. So that rapid release of energy not only will prevent illness coming into your body, but it will cleanse and clear your auric field really quickly. And I can feel that in terms of that silly event on Friday in the going to get my groceries from New World in Wigram. I've just felt really just so incensed that I'd only been there 40 minutes. How can these cameras put me there an hour and a half earlier? I just don't get it. So it's all of that. So when our aura gets overloaded, over time the body will absorb the energy of the emotions and the mental thoughts. And this then becomes a deeper issue. So if we don't cleanse our thoughts, if we don't take responsibility for how we're thinking, then that, excuse me, does become a really big issue. And I think for myself, the clearest example, which was actually pointed out to me by a friend, I've broken the ligament on my right ankle 3 years in a row, and I was working in an excruciatingly high pressurized job for a national charity organization, actually. And I had to go and collect something for a friend, and I couldn't get out of the car. I'd just fractured the ligament yet again in my right foot. So my husband went in, she came out with whatever it was. And she said, "Oh, what have you done?" And I said, "Oh, blah, 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 blah." And she went, "Oh, that's because you're terrified to move on. You just need to find a new job and you'll be fine." And it was one of those light bulb moments, one of the eras of clarity that it was just, yeah, it was just amazing. And that's when I started to correlate with what is happening in my body to what was happening with me emotionally. And I think it's really important. The bloodstone itself is a unique stone because it will remove extraneous emotions from the physical body so you can feel balanced and well. And when we're imbalanced, we have a better coping skills and we can deal with issues in a logical way and protect ourselves from outside influences and distractions. And I think that's really important. We have to take responsibility for how we think because we're the one that's thinking. We have to take responsibility with how external forces make us feel. So I had to take responsibility for that parking ticket. As simple as that and stupid as that sounds, it just sent me over the edge. It'd been a really busy week. It was a really busy day. I had back-to-back meetings from 9 o'clock in the morning through to 2 o'clock. And so it was just a full-on morning. And this was me heading home, gathering a few groceries, going home to then deal with the rest of my work. And so I had to own that. I had to own how stupid was I to step in front of a moving car in the first place, but also taking ownership of my thoughts as I was talking to the parking attendant, knowing that he was lying and continued to lie. But he was just lying to get rid of me. He just wanted to get rid of me. He'd been caught. Obviously he has been caught giving out a false ticket because my car was outside the office when it supposedly was in the car park. So there's all of that. So I had to really own how stupid my response was, regardless of how vindicated I felt at that point in time. So Bloodstone will help cleanse and clear that auric field, because you don't want other people's thoughts impacting you physically. And you really don't want those stupid events where you lose control impacting you physically either. You just don't want it. That isn't what you're here to experience. We're here to master ourselves. This is a master crystal. It will help you master your mental, emotional, and physical body. And how awesome is that? It's just awesome, really awesome. So, we're going to go into our meditation. And so, this meditation, it's about taking time to look at your body. I want you to just close your eyes and just feel into your body. Do it from your toes upwards. So, and I will guide you through this. So, going through the toes upwards and just feeling where there's a slight maladjustment, where there's an ache or a pain or a density there. And just looking at, so what does that belong to? Is it my ankles? Is it my feet? Am I moving in the right direction? Is it my hips? Am I too set in my ways? Am I sexually frustrated? Am I not flexible enough, not being flexible? Those are the three things that our hips are all about. Is it our rib cage? So am I suppressing grief and anger? Am I suppressing my words? Am I suppressing my breath, just to breathe? Am I not breathing properly? Is it my shoulders? Am I being too rigid? Am I shouldering too much? Am I carrying too many issues for other people? Is it my head? Is it my neck? Thinking about our body, just really tapping into our body. Then once we do that, once you've done that, we'll then ask our angels to come along. And I've picked 2 angels today, actually. I thought I'd do it, which is really beautiful. So the first angel card I've picked today is our base chakra. And of course, that is our survival needs. This stone is really grounding. It helps support our basic needs. Base chakra is our survival needs. So that is our money, our home, our career, our health. It's all of those basic needs. And the other card I chose was crystal, which I thought was just hysterically funny. So we have these 2 angel cards today, which we're going to apply, doing it slightly differently than I would do on Insight Timer. So just doing this slightly differently because the angels have been playing with me for the last month. And I've really enjoyed bringing my angel cards back into my healing sessions as well as doing these meditations. I just thought that was just the angels, angels. They know exactly what you need, whether you're listening to me live or whether you're listening to this in a recording. So let's get into our meditation. And let's be really aware of what's going on around us. So just taking a breath, just closing our eyes and just bringing our awareness into our body and being really focused on the relaxation process. So we're going to go through our body. And as we go through our body, you're just going to take note of what you're feeling there. So we're going to start with our feet, our toes, just clenching our toes, curling them up and releasing them. How do they feel? Moving into the arch and the sole of our foot, into the heel. Just looking at your feet, how do they feel? Are they clean and clear, or is there a blockage there? Coming through into our ankle bone. How does that feel? Moving your thoughts up through the back of your calves, your shins at the front, into your knees. How do they feel? How's the circulation feeling? Does it feel good, effortless? Or is there a block there? Moving from the knee up through our thighs, up through the femur, through the muscles, front and back, into the buttock area, into our hips. How do our hips feel? Do they feel supple, movable, or do they feel stiff? coming into the coccyx, the base of the spine and the sacrum. We've got some flexibility there within the hips, or does it feel jammed? Does it feel solid? Working your way up through the lower spine, moving into the thoracic area of the spine and our rib cage. Are there any ribs out of alignment? Do we feel any aches and pains within our back? Moving through our shoulder blades, up into the back of the neck, into the back of the skull, and looking at the actual skull itself, down into the jawbone, the jawline, moving the jaw, wiggling the jaw. How does that feel? Is there any tension? Have you been clenching your teeth, grinding your teeth with anxiety or worry? How does the skull itself feel? How does the brain feel? Your organs? Taking a deep breath in, breathing in, breathing out. We're going to call upon our angels just to step forward. Those beautiful angels are going to help in our healing. And you're going to imagine, see, or feel a beam of energy cascading from the soles of your feet down into the earth below, touching and enfolding a wonderful piece of bloodstone in Mother Earth. Rich veins of red and ochre enfolded in that deep green crystal. And you feel the energy of the bloodstone pulsing through that beam of light, flowing effortlessly through your body, opening up your chakra system, moving into every organ, bone, muscle, sinew and tissue, every gland, flowing through your veins, your lymph nodes. Your body is feeling relaxed. You're going deeper and deeper into a state of meditation. You're going to say to yourself every day and every way, I feel better and better. Taking a breath in, breathing out. Every day and every way, I feel more grounded. Every day and every way, I am better and better. Breathing in and breathing out. Allowing that wonderful, wonderful soft energy of the bloodstone to flow effortlessly up into the universe above, sending a beam of light up to Father Sky, linking Mother Earth and Father Sky together. Your angels are going to take your consciousness up, 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 up through light and dark space, going up, up, up into the heavens above. And we're going to head for the angelic realms and beyond, going up to the seventh heavens, going up, up, up with our angels' help to a temple of healing. In your mind's eye, you can see the temple coming into view. It's a white temple with a large archway. The angels are glowing on the inside of the temple. You can feel the energy emanating pure, unconditional love towards you. And you're moving through the archway of the temple into the very heart, the beating heart, where we have Archangel Raphael, the wonderful angel who resides on the emerald green ray, who heals us deeply, both mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. He is enfolding you in his wonderful angelic wings, passing his love, his unconditional love through your heart into your body. And as he caresses you lovingly in his wings, he can see the blocks, the pain within your physical body, and he is sending golden light cascading through your heart space, removing those physical symptoms, releasing those physical blocks. And as you look at your body now, you see those blocks gently and effortlessly dissolving. And these could be blocks from the past, from childhood, from past lives, as well as recent issues that have occurred. Just allow him to dissolve all of those blocks on a physical level. And we bring our awareness out to our auric field where his angel wings, the feathers of his angel wings, are brushing ever so gently, sweeping your auric field with the feathers of his wings, removing stagnant thoughts, attachments, any engrams, which are old thoughts that have been residing there, rust from other people, their thoughts and feelings that no longer need to be in your auric field. He's removing them softly and gently with the feathers of his wings, sweeping from head to toe. Just feel that brushing sensation. It feels wonderful. It feels nurturing. It feels loving. It feels caring. Sweeping effortlessly, cleansing and cleaning your auric field until it just belongs to you. It is empty of all negative attachments, thoughts, and feelings. It feels blissful. I'm going to leave you to talk to Archangel Raphael for a few moments, just so you can allow him to help you with tools for the future and how you can keep your auric field clean, how you can keep your body in balance. I'm just going to leave you with him for a few moments now. Archangel Raphael he's going to download you with forgiveness for yourself. And as you forgive yourself for past words, thoughts, and feelings, he's going to place a level of forgiveness in your auric field. And that's for those who have caused you any pain, frustration, anger, or resentment. We're going to flush your auric field with forgiveness, and he's going to do that now. Feels wonderful, wonderful. Well done. It's time to leave this amazing space, and the angels are going to gently guide you down from the heavens above, down from the seventh heaven, back into your body. So taking a breath in, breathing in, and breathing out. Bringing your energy down into your physical being, reconnecting to your hands, your feet, your legs, your arms. Breathing in, breathing out. Just opening your eyes just gently. Yeah, just bringing yourself back into your physical being. That was really powerful. The forgiveness part, that was something he just said that was really important because we need to forgive ourselves. I need to forgive myself for being an absolute idiot in jumping in front of a moving car to get my point across. And I need to forgive the driver, the ticket warden as well, because he is just doing his job, even if I feel it was false. So I've got to work on my forgiveness towards him as well. The thing is, we can't change events. The event has occurred. I can't change my event last week. You can't change your event. So we need to actually just deal with the event as it is in the here and now. And we need to forgive ourselves so that we can move on just ever so quickly and finding a more balanced perspective, finding a more balanced approach to what has occurred and then dealing with it from there. So I hope that I've given you some really good insights into Bloodstone. I hope it's changed your opinion about Bloodstone. It is not a glamorous stone, but boy, it's a really deep healing stone. It is just a workhorse, the Clydesdale of the crystals out there, which works constantly with who we are as sentient beings. It works constantly with us on that physical, mental, emotional levels. So it's a really awesome stone to have in your collection. And hopefully, I've inspired you to go and find some. So until next month, where we'll again the last Sunday of the month, we'll be back here on YouTube. Hopefully, I'll be able to access slightly quicker. Just didn't find the right button to press there, so I do apologize for my late arrival. And we're doing aquamarine, the soul of the sea, a lucky talisman, the mermaid stone, the Acturian stone. So that's going to be amazing, amazing. Until the next time, take care of yourselves, be kind to yourselves, and work away with your bloodstone. Bye for now.